Hello and welcome. You're watching Good Morning India. I'm Gargi Rawat. Well, the big breaking news this morning is the Golden Globe for RRR's Naatu Naatu, and we're going across to Arun for all the details surrounding that big news.
Of course, I'm missing my suspenders here because I would have loved to do that step, Gargi. Of course, we get into the details of Naatu Naatu. It's a historic win as there wasn't any nomination of an Indian film in last 20 years. Last we had a nomination was in 2001 and that was Monsoon Wedding. It's very important that Naatu Naatu has won. So we'll get into the details of that. But before that, the headlines.
That's right. Let's take a look at the headlines and RRR's historic win at the Golden Globes. Naatu Naatu for Best Original Song.
Nomination and first win for this writing team. They win their Golden Globe tonight for their music and lyrics of Naatu Naatu in RRR.
Demolition of damaged buildings in Joshimath likely to start today after the administration deferred their plan following protests by locals on Tuesday. Several buildings are tilting and have developed cracks due to the sinking soil there. The Bengaluru police have filed an FIR against the site engineer, contractor and BMRCL in charge officer after a woman and her child were killed in a metro pillar collapse. Severe air pollution in Delhi, Noida and in cities in Bihar seriously impacts unwell people, affects healthy ones as well as what health experts have said. Well, the big breaking news now, and SS Rajamouli's blockbuster has won Best Original Song for the infectious and viral song Naatu Naatu from RRR, the first Indian film to win a Golden Globe among Hollywood's biggest awards. So that's been a big moment. Let's just take a look at that moment when it was announced.
Goes to Naatu Naatu. This is the first nomination and first win for this writing team. They win their Golden Globe tonight for their music and lyrics of Naatu Naatu in RRR. Accepting the award is M.M. Kiravani. Goes to Naatu Naatu.
Moment, seeing composer Kiravani, they're going up on stage, and let's go across to Arun now for more on this. Arun, this movie has done phenomenally, and the song has gone completely viral. You have people, copying it, doing covers on Instagram, on TikTok as well. But tell us about what Kiravani said in his acceptance speech.
Well, Kiravani, started by saying that it has always been an age-old practice to say that this award actually belongs to someone else. So he says in his words, I was planning not to say those words when I get an award like this, but I'm sorry to say that I'm going to repeat the tradition because I mean my words. So he went on to thank SS Rajamouli, the choreographer, and also Charan and Junior NTR for showing the energy, the vibe, and the environment that they portrayed in the song. The film's Telugu track, Naatu Naatu, has been composed by veteran music director M.M. Kiravani, who accepted the award. It has been penned by Kala Bhairav and Rahul Sipliganj, and was nominated in Original Song Motion Picture category. Now, it's interesting to note that this victory comes as HFPA returned after a huge controversy of not being diverse enough. HFPA is Hollywood Foreign Press Association. It had no black members before 2021 awards. It was revealed in a Los Angeles Times report that, then 87-member HFPA had no black members. So, they were criticized for lack of diversity, and there comes Naatu Naatu winning the Best Song Award in Motion Picture category. Now, the film has been interesting. It's set in colonial times, and also the setting of the song is interesting. All the characters are very important, but of course, right in the forefront is Charan and Junior NTR's character. They play Bheem and Raju. And Bheem, played by Junior NTR, has a love interest who's a white woman, and she invites him to a party where there's a ballroom dance kind of situation happening, Gargi, and there both of these stars break into Naatu Naatu.
And there's also this whole element of, cultural suppression, the British, seeming they're superior, but then you have these two characters breaking out in this very rustic song and, and the white men, and again, it plays into that whole thing of, white men can't dance, not being very happy, but the women then pushing them to perform. And the dance steps are so complicated and you have so many people across the world, trying to copy them.
100%. And also, Gargi, this is not a very easy choreography. Usually, songs or moves which become viral have very easy to learn moves. But this one came with a complex choreography. But despite that, just because the music was so catchy, because we had two big stars there, the song became an instant hit. And I remember calling Uma and asking what Naatu Naatu means. And then we also had a tutorial right when the song went viral just before the release.
And you've been lucky enough to actually, dance on stage with Ram Charan to this song during one of our award events. And that was really interesting to see. And I have to say, you did a good job. But Uma, my God, what a success this film has been, and now a Golden Globe for Naatu Naatu, and you have these congratulations coming in. Chiranjeevi, of course, tweeting his congratulations. A.R. Rahman, someone who himself is a trailblazer, tweeting and talking about paradigm shift. I'm waiting to see the Bollywood, congratulations pouring in. But yes, what an amazing morning.
Absolutely celebratory morning, something that Indian cinema can celebrate. Just like Arun was mentioning, in the film you have this, Western culture versus the Indian culture, and as you were mentioning about the context of domination of the Western culture, the Indian film, Indian musical original, going there and winning an award there. As part of the song, you have this white man saying, "You two, out." And it appears that now it is you two in, and the music is in, and the song is in as well. Like Arun was pointing out, Naatu Naatu is something that in fact celebrates the dance, and many people would have loved to see the dance itself being awarded and spoken about as well. But it is the music which in fact gave life to the song, because the kind of beat that is there to the music, the lyrics, if you see, Naatu Naatu itself is a celebration of dance, and as part of the song itself, you talk about the music and see me dance and see me fly like an arrow and see me trot across like the bull which is raising dust as it passes by. This is a time of Sankranti just coming up, and this is a time when the bull and rural, landscape, they are celebrating the farming festival. And this song, in a sense, even though it is set in a very Western ballroom kind of a context, a party, an outdoor party where a dance is happening, and then these two Indians are in fact challenged, and they start dancing with an Indian beat. So the dance, I would say, is almost fusion. I'm not an expert on dance, but you can see a very Indian moves as well as kind of fusion, should I say fusion moves that these two perform. Both of them very, very apt and very, very fit for this thing, because Junior NTR is someone who's trained to be a Bharatanatyam dancer ever since he was a child, and Ram Charan is the son of Chiranjeevi, who we have all seen dance like magic. I mean, his steps are magical, and Ram Charan certainly seems to have inherited those genes as well. And of course, with a lot of practice, the music of Keerwani. Keerwani happens to be the cousin of Rajamouli and the nephew of Vijayendra Prasad, who in fact is now in Parliament, but someone who's been the one who writes the screenplay, whether it was for Bahubali or the story was given by Vijayendra Prasad, Bahubali, or even this film itself, RRR, which of course is a fictional epic drama of two Indians, two Telugu men, Alluri Sitaramaraju, played by Ram Charan, and Kumaram Bheem, played by Junior NTR. And it is an imagined kind of a sequence where they meet during that time, and together they are able to kind of vanquish, or should I say, defeat the Western forces in their designs for that part of the country. So the picturization itself had wowed people, and we saw even at the latest kind of a screening that was set up there at the Chinese theatre with the world's biggest IMAX theater, where when this song was playing, everyone came out and were really having a party. We saw many of those tweets where people were mentioning that this film is really a celebration, and it was a party that was going on even as the film and the song were playing out. And that's exactly what happened at the Chinese theater as well, with everyone, not just the Indian fans who are even otherwise crazy about this song, crazy about the stars, crazy about this director, and about Kirwani, whose music in the past as well, whether it is a movie called Magadhira, where you had Ram Charan, and that had fantastic music as well. You had the Bahubali songs, which everyone has been speaking about. And the lyricist in this case, of course, is Chandra Bose. Chandra Bose has given the lyrics for the Naatu Naatu song. And he's someone, if our audiences may be able to identify the other film that took the country by storm, Pushpa's film where Samantha does that number. That is something that was once again penned by Chandra Bose. And in this case, of course, Rahul Sipliganj and Kala Bhairava singing this song itself, and directed, of course, by Rajamouli, that had everyone across the world, I must say, dancing to it and trying to ape it. And yes, Arun has asked me to do the steps in the past. I'm not going to do that on air, but yes, this is something that all of us are certainly going to be celebrating for a long time. And that Twitter comment from A.R. Rahman says a lot, actually, when he says it's a paradigm shift that we are talking about. And that's very, very, should I say, that's a very heavy statement with a lot of depth of meaning. Back to you.
And of course, a regional movie, and of course it was built or it was made with a pan-India approach, but it's at the end of the day, it's a Telugu film. And then, Naatu Naatu also has those authentic lyrics. For this, a regional track to go global is also a statement. And the movie has defied several rules or several misconceptions as well, Uma. As you know, it was a very long film. So, at first people were like, it's a long film and it's 2022, is it going to survive? And then it had, regional stars, which were, of course, becoming bigger back then after, of course, Rajamouli's Bahubali. So it really made a statement, Uma.
Absolutely. On the international stage, even the way the team has gone about screening the film everywhere, and everywhere it was kind of sold out screenings that were happening, and they were being celebrated everywhere. We saw the kind of videos. Of course, we know that there are, Junior NTR and Ram Charan have fans everywhere, but they have been made that much more bigger with the Naatu Naatu song itself and the film RRR that somehow was able to transcend those kind of boundaries. If it is a celebration of the East, the celebration of the kind of music that is made here, the celebration of the kind of capabilities, technical and otherwise, because that one scene has also caught everyone's imagination, where we heard, in fact, in the press conference as well, Junior NTR referring to it and saying that, when he comes out of the vehicle and you have all these animals coming out, he says, this is completely Rajamouli's imagination, because when I was doing it, I didn't have an idea that this is what is going to happen in the film, because this is really a director's medium, and Rajamouli is someone who we have all known as a fantastic filmmaker, and that the film was also nominated for Best Picture in the foreign category. That is also a matter of great honor. And Naatu Naatu, as you were mentioning, the song itself, the words, itself sounds so Indian, so Telugu, I must say. Naatu, of course, coming from the word Natyam, which is a dance as we all understand it. And it's a celebration of dance and music and of the Indian way of being, because like I was telling you earlier, Sankranti is coming up, and this is a time when we celebrate the bull, the farmland and the rural way of life, where we are actually thanking the sun god, the bulls on the farm who work on the farm for us and help us get the food grains. All that is being celebrated, because he talks about the references that come about in the song, or about the bulls that kick up so much of dust. That's also because there is something called Jallikattu that happens, whether it is in a Tamil Nadu or in an Andhra or in Telangana, where you have these races of the bulls who are celebrated and revered, and when they run past, there's a huge amount of dust that's kicked up, and that's the kind of dust they talk about when they are dancing, and about arrows moving very, very fast, and about the Raju. Raju is a reference to somebody who's princely, somebody who's a prince of the land, a king of the land, and that's what these young men are being celebrated as. As a Raju, you go ahead and dance like a king, and there is also a reference to chilies that are very popular in the not just in the Guntur region but entire Telugu states. There's a chili culture, should I say, because everything is nice and spicy, and spices up your life actually in many ways. And they talk about this, the kind of dance that's happening is almost as sharp as a chili, and that's the entire song is actually that celebration of rural life. Of course, it is set in that backdrop of the Uzbek palace where the shooting has in fact taken place, and you have these Western party of the Englishmen that's happening, into which the young man, Junior NTR, who is invited to that particular party, and then there is this dance challenge that happens, and in this film, at least, it is shown that they are not able to keep pace, but everyone is having a great time, and that's what everyone is doing right now with this song and with the way it's been picturized in the film itself. Back to you.
All right, Uma, what a beautiful description of the song. And, again, amazing how it's just hooked everyone, how, people are performing this song. And now to have this, to have a Golden Globe and make history in this manner. And the entire team was there at the 80th Golden Globe Awards for this big, big moment as they won the Best Original Song there. Arun.
100%. And in the movie, the way this song has also been set is also interesting. They talk about the energy, they talk about the everlasting energy, and it begins with both of them starting with a lot of gusto, and then they are the ones who last the longest. And all others dancers who were probably engaged in ballroom dancing, they're all tired by the end of it, but these two characters, they go on, keep dancing. So that's what has been portrayed in the film, and that has gone absolutely true for the song, for the musical journey of the song, as it has lasted the longest, and add that too at a global platform. And Gargi, it's also interesting to note that it's Golden Globe Awards are a precursor to the Oscars.
That's right.
Maybe it gets nominated, and maybe we have an Oscar also coming.
All right, well, let's keep our fingers crossed with that. On that note, we'll slip into a short break and return with more. Stay with us. Welcome back. Demolitions of damaged buildings in Joshimath are likely to start today. This after the administration deferred their plan following protests by locals on Tuesday. Several buildings are tilting, have developed cracks due to the sinking, and tearful residents were evacuated from their homes. Now, more worryingly, the crisis does not appear to be limited to just Joshimath. A town 90 kilometers downhill too has developed cracks.
A massive angry crowd stopping the demolition of these Joshimath hotels that are tilting towards each other as a worrying situation unfolds in Joshimath, the sacred Uttarakhand town, where massive cracks have appeared in multiple buildings and even roads.
ये पूरा एरिया जो सिंक कर रहा है उसके कारण से ये एक दूसरे के करीब आ गए और टिल्ट कर गए एक दूसरे पर। इनका डिमोलिश करना इसलिए ज़रूरी है क्योंकि इनके नीचे भी कई घर हैं और कई होटल हैं, तो ये अगर ये और सिंक करता है और कहीं ज़्यादा सिंक कर गया तो ये होटल कभी भी गिर सकता है।
जनहित में तोड़ा जाना चाहिए, जबकि मेरे होटल में तो आंशिक दरारें हैं, बिल्कुल होटल बिल्कुल सॉलिड है, लेकिन जहाँ जनता की बात है तो उसके लिए तोड़ लीजिए, कम से कम मुझे नोटिस दिया जाना चाहिए।
But it is not just these hotels. The Uttarakhand government says a total of 723 homes are in danger as of now, and people have been shifted from 131 homes so far. Stung by mounting criticism of how the Joshimath situation has gone out of hand, the government dispatched Junior Defence Minister Ajay Bhatt, an Uttarakhand politician, to meet locals and firefight.
लोगों ने गाड़ी कमाई से अपने मकान बनाए थे और उसके बाद आज छोड़ना पड़ रहा है, मजबूरी है। जान माल की सुरक्षा हमारी प्राथमिकता है। स्वयं प्रधानमंत्री जी मिनट की खबर ले रहे हैं।
For Joshimath residents, the cost of saving the sinking town is a personal tragedy, with many having to vacate homes built with years of hard work.
मेरी शादी हो गई थी 19 साल में। मेरी माँ को इस समय 80 साल हैं। भैया लोग मेरे, एक भैया बड़ा भैया मेरा टीचर है।
तो कितने सालों से घर है आपका ये?
हमारे ये घर 60 सालों से है।
60 साल से
जी।
लेकिन 60 साल का जो आशियाना था वो
एक पल में खत्म हो गया।
The unfolding disaster does not appear to be limited to Joshimath. 90 kilometers away in Karnaprayag, residents of one locality, Bahuguna Nagar, have flagged these massive cracks that have appeared in at least 50 homes in the last few months. It is not clear why these cracks have developed. The Uttarakhand government says it will investigate.
Demolition could not take place in Joshimath today because hotel owners and locals have protested, saying that without any prior notice, teams of SDRF, NDTV had reached on the spot for demolition. Now administration has assured them that their hotels and houses will not be bulldozed. They will be demolished manually. In Joshimath, with Pawan Kumar Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
In Bengaluru, the police have filed an FIR against the site engineer, contractor, BMRCL in charge officers after a metro accident killed two. A woman and her 2-year-old son died while her husband and daughter were injured after the under construction metro pillar fell on their two-wheeler yesterday morning. The couple and their twin children were passing through the stretch on their bike when the iron pillar crashed on them.
A family torn apart after this major Bengaluru accident, where reinforcement iron rods from an under-construction metro pillar crashed on 28-year-old Tejaswini, a software engineer, and her 2.5-year-old son, Vihan, who were travelling on a scooter when the accident happened.
So वो 10:15 को मेरे को फ़ोन आया मेरे बेटे से, ऐसा एक्सीडेंट हुआ है करके। लेकिन मैं एक्सीडेंट से मामूली पड़े रहेंगे स्कूटर से करके मेरे ख्याल था, फिर भी लेकिन तुम जल्दी आओ करके मेरा बड़ा बेटा हो, वो बहू 2 बच्चे लेकर स्कूल को छोड़कर वो मान्यता टेक पर करके उधर ऑफिस है, उसी में वो कैंपस में वो बच्चों का भी स्कूल है, वो छोड़ के ऑफिस जा रहे थे।
This CCTV footage from an area in the vicinity of the accident site shows the accident taking place and traffic coming to a standstill. The big question, who is responsible for the collapse? Bengaluru Metro statement on pillar tragedy. In a statement, the Bengaluru Metro Rail Corporation said, notice issued to contractor and concerned engineers, and that an internal technical team will assist Top Science Institute IISc requested to investigate. Internal technical team to help in probe. The Metro Corporation has also announced support of rupees 20 lakhs for family of the deceased.
Collapsed probably because of some structural issues. So we have taken up a case, we are investigating, and we have also asked for expert advice regarding the reason for this collapse, and we'll take necessary action.
Structural stability we have already inspected. So as far as the concrete work is concerned, there is absolutely no problem in that.
We are reporting from that very accident spot. This particular structure that you see right here, those metal rods, which is a reinforcement cage, which is, actually kept surrounding this particular metro pillar. Now that particular reinforcement cage gave away, one of the metal rods gave away, and that is why this metro pillar in fact collapsed, came crashing down. The collapse led to a war of words between the opposition Congress and the BJP government.
This is the quality of 40% commission Sarkar. When they give 40% commission, what quality they can give? There is no quality. This is the 40% commission. This is the root cause. This is the face of the commission.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಅವರು ಇರುವಾಗ 100% ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
The quality is top notch. The structural stability cannot be questioned, claims the Bengaluru Metro, even as 2 young lives have been lost. Along this particular phase 3 of the project, we see there are 50 more pillars that are going to come up. Again, the question remains, how many of them are structurally safe? In Bengaluru, with Kumar, Shrija for NDTV.
In other news, the 16th edition of India's largest automotive show, the Auto Expo 2023, kicks off today. The expo will run between the 11th to the 18th of January in both Delhi and Noida, and it will be open to the public starting from the 13th. The event will feature many car manufacturers, two-wheelers, large commercial vehicle manufacturers, along with EV companies. Several automobile manufacturers such as Maruti, Toyota, Lexus, Tata and MG Motors will be there to showcase their innovations, vehicles and future plans as well. News now from Jammu and Kashmir, where vigilante groups are being armed with rifles in the Rajouri district. Jammu's village defense groups are getting new weapons and they're being armed to defend against terrorist attacks.
A massive exercise to arm villagers with new weapons in Rajouri. At Dangri village, where terrorists attacked Hindu families, vigilante groups known as village defense groups are given SLRs to defend themselves against terrorist attacks. Rajesh Kumar, an ex-serviceman, is among dozens of new vigilantes who have been given a semi-automatic rifle instead of a .303 rifle, which is the main weapon allotted to VDGs.
मैं बीडीसी बनने के लिए तैयार हूँ, बीडीसी बड़े रेज हो या रहा हूँ, मैं वैसे ही वेपन है, हम फिर भी गाँव की प्रोडक्शन, सेल्फ की नहीं, हम तो गाँव की प्रोडक्शन करने के तैयार हैं। अगर हम देश की कर सकते हैं तो गाँव तो हमारे लिए बिल्कुल छोटी सी चीज।
This man, Dheeraj Sharma, who is the BJP Sarpanch of Dangri, is playing a key role to identify and enroll new village defense guards. The Dangri Panchayat already has 70 village guards with .303 rifles. After terror attacks on January 1st, many more are queuing up for guns being distributed by the administration.
डीडीसी के कारण ही मिलिटेंसी के ऊपर अंकुश लगेगा। घर घर में जब वेपन होंगे और हमारे सीसीटीवी कैमरा जो है 500 हमने जो सेट जो है ऑर्डर हमने अभी दे दिया। यहाँ पे 18 कंपनी छोड़कर आप यहाँ पे 180 कंपनी लगा दो, लेकिन 18 कंपनी लगाओगे घर घर तो नहीं बैठेंगे।
Security agencies have also stated training sessions for villagers to serve as a line of defense against terrorism. At the Kutranka area of Rajouri, a dozen vigilantes are being trained by the CRPF and their weapons are being checked for firing sessions.
अभी हमारी तैनाती श्रीनगर से जो लेटेस्ट इंसिडेंट हुए हैं उसके चक्कर में यहाँ पे राजौरी में हमें यहाँ नई पोस्टिंग दी गई है, और साथ में हमें ये भी टास्क दिया गया है कि जो यहाँ के VDC मेंबर हैं, जो विलेज सुरक्षा समिति के मेंबर हैं, तो उनको हम ट्रेंड भी कर सकें ताकि अगर आवश्यकता पड़ती है तो ये भी विपरीत स्थिति में रिटेलिएट कर सकते हैं।
There are 28,000 VDGs in the Jammu region and many more are queuing up for weapons. Yesterday, panic gripped Rajouri after vigilante opened fire due to a suspicious moment.
It is a massive exercise of arming villagers and training them to defend against militant attacks. And as the vigilante groups are back in the forefront, giving them automatic rifles without any institutional control remains a concern. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi, Final TV.
We're also joined by Girish Vankade, film critic. Thank you for joining us this morning and your reaction to this big news, the Golden Globe for Naatu Naatu.
This is a great time for all of us because it's a big breakthrough. To be there in Golden Globe itself is a big deal, and then winning That too in a category where your competition like Lady Gaga and all. So this is one of the biggest moment for us, and with our films we are there. We are known for songs and dances, and we proved that we excel in that. The whole Indian films are known for this. So this is a great time for us. This is time to celebrate, and this is a celebration for Indian cinema, in fact. So with Kirbani receiving there, we came to know that the lyrics, even the steps which has gone viral, and see the grandeur with which they have done. It has got the pure Indianness in the song. So I think it's a great deal, and we should be proud of it.
Right, absolutely. How do you explain the success of RRR, the way it's, caught the imagination? You have critics going wild over it in the West, and the song Naatu Naatu as well. We were talking, Arun, about how it's so popular on social media and people are copying it. And, the hook, of course, are the very trendy steps in it. But tell us more about what you explains this success.
It's only because there was great marketing strategy beside this. It was not a very regular film. People went there, Rajamouli and his team went there, and they had a pure, elaborate marketing strategy, and they did it. And in fact, the song itself was catchy enough to get viral. And then, obviously, the trick is being done by the very aggressive marketing promotional campaigns. Because when we do the films, even when we are nominated, we need a very strong marketing team to market those films, to make it sure that the entire jury, because it's foreign press, we are talking about a Golden Globe, so it becomes very important to push it, to make it visible to all of them. And the song itself has a great zing. It has something which get you hooked. So as soon as you see any one frame, you are there. So that is the magic of this song. And when that song stands out of this lavishly mounted film, then automatically it becomes the talk of the town. So it was well received by foreign press, and they are purely impressed by the way Rakshit Shetty has done the choreography, and then Kirbani has composed the song, and then of course the huge stars who has performed on the song.
Mr. Wankhede, also, past year we've had a conversation about how regional cinema or Telugu, Tamil cinema has been ruling the charts. And, when we ask this question from a lot of Hindi film crew, whether it's directors, stars, sometimes they get offended also. And then they say, a film like Drishyam has also worked. It's all about good content. But yes, we've seen most of the regional cinema going pan-India, making a mark. And here, RRR also winning this Golden Globe Award. Does it say anything, or does it also strengthen this entire narrative of this is the time for regional cinema?
It is, in fact, strengthening the entire narrative, only because for anybody outside India, our all cinema is a regional cinema. They don't think that this is Hindi or Marathi or this is Telugu or Tamil. For them, it is Indian cinema. So when Indian cinema is represented by RRR, we are all proud of it. Hindi cinema, yes. It's one of the biggest, very popular cinema, but we are, in fact, for last 2 or 3 years, we are not going with the great content. And they have proved one, not with the box office success, but with the critical acclaim also. The Telugu cinema, the Malayalam cinema, and the Tamil cinema has proved again and again that they are doing wonderful, amazing work. So we need to again, Hindi filmmakers also has to come up with the pace. But in fact, when we say in totality, we should be proud, because at the end of the day, it's Indian cinema. So we should love this, and this is not only about South Indian cinema, but this is the cinema as a whole, where the entire world is taking a note of it. You are there in the Golden Globe with one of the biggest star cast, and then with one of the biggest aggressive marketing campaign. So that's why you are there, and there you are winning. So I think, yes, there is a shift when we say that not more of Hindi cinema we are talking about, but even if you are talking about Tamil or Telugu or Malayalam or Kannada cinema, we are still there, because after all, it's one industry.
And from a marketing perspective also, does it set a tone that, now we have to focus on pan-India films where you have someone like Ajay Devgan, Alia Bhatt, mainstream Hindi film actors, and then Ram Charan and Junior NTR as well, big stars down south.
Yeah, of course, because it makes sense when you have actors from north as well. Then when we are actors from south as well, it becomes a huge combination because entire 11 territories are divided only in two regions, that is south and north. So we have north actors, we have south actors. So these south huge actors, you have NTR and Ram Charan, and then there is a combination of Alia Bhatt as well as Ajay Devgan. So it makes sense. It makes a sense for a pan-India visibility and excitement. It's a pure marketing and a business sense. So yes, this could be a new prerogative where we are making films where we are having the actors from most of the regions. And right now we can see that harmony or that symphony or that energy between all the regional cinemas. Like this week, the biggest Marathi film, Ved, has opened with huge numbers. So this is a great time for regional cinema. And at that time, if you are doing a pan-India cinema with all the huge actors from various regions, then nothing like it.
Well, thank you so much, Girish Wankade, for joining us this morning. And what a great morning. RRR making history, winning the Golden Globe for Naatu Naatu. And Arun, we can't wrap this segment before telling our viewers that Arun too has danced to Naatu Naatu with Ram Charan, no less. This was during our awards function. Just take a look at that.
Nacho, 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 nacho,